Here we start with the Word document. Uh, we'll start with the elements first, the elements of the window that we can see here. So on the top is the title bar where you can see the name of the document. So top mid is the title bar. Here you have the quick access toolbar. It's generally the top left section. This is Mac, so you can see these icons here, these options as well here. You might not have them in the Windows system, but nonetheless, you should know that quick access toolbar shows the commonly used commands like save, undo, redo, and this can be edited also. The quick access toolbar can be edited, and more commands can be added by the user here. Then we have the ribbon where we have various tabs and groups and various commands. I'm sure you would already know. Under the ribbon, we have the ruler. This is the horizontal ruler. Here you can see the vertical ruler. Here we have the scroll bar. Scroll bar is to see the pages that are not visible. So you can just scroll and you can see various other pages that are there. Then we have the status bar. Status bar shows the number of pages and the current page and the words and basically the status of the document, right? And the whole white thing is your work area. So that's there. We start with basic shortcuts. I have written some basic shortcuts here, which I'm sure most of you would know, even if you don't know. So you could have a look here. So these are your control plus N if you want to open a new document, control plus O for opening an existing document, control plus S for saving the document, F12 the numeric key, F12 to open the save as dialog box, then control plus W to close the document, control plus Z to undo, control plus Y to redo, control plus P to print or to open the print window. To select all contents of the page, control plus A, control plus C to copy, control plus X to cut, control plus V to paste, control plus F to find, control plus H to replace. These are some of the shortcuts for formatting, control plus B, control plus I, control plus U for bold, italic and underlining. And then if you want to change the font without going on the group font using the keyboard, then you can just press Control plus Shift plus F. Control plus L, Control plus R, and Control plus J are for aligning the paragraphs. So I feel these are the very basic which one should know and which one should use more often. We'll move ahead and we'll just see some things that we have to do here. So I'm starting with the very basic formatting. Also, before moving here, people who use Mac, uh, you would not have the control key, you would not have these shortcuts working exactly like this, but wherever there's a control key, you can replace the control with the command key. Most of the places it does work. So there are a few places where it does not, but most of the places with command key, you can have these shortcuts working for you as well. As far as the numeric keys are there, the numeric keys for Mac people don't work the same way as they're supposed to work, so that's a little bit of problem there. Anyways, moving ahead. So I'll quickly try to do, I would not be using the keys. I would try to use the icons here so that you can see their location also. Most probably in your Windows desktop also you would see icons more or less placed here only. If you have a little bit of problem with where the icons or particular tabs or groups are located, more or less they are all the same, but if you have a little problem, I am sure you can navigate through by just kind of opening and searching. Anyways, let's start with the basic ones first. So font style bold. If you I want to make it bold, what do? I just select it and I go on to this bold option and it becomes bold. Alternatively, I could have used the keys also, which is Control plus B. To make it italic, what do? Control plus I, or I just press here. To have an underline here, what can I do? I can just select it and I can select this icon. I can also choose which sort of underline I want. So there are various options that I can select from. Let's select double underline. That's there. Font color, if I want to select, I can easily select it from here. Let me make it a little darker. Probably this blue should work. Font size, you can always change from here. You could increase or decrease from here. These are the two options that you can use to increase or decrease the font size. How about text highlight? Text highlight, if you want to highlight the text, this is the option where you go to. So we've highlighted the text here. Change case. Now you would know that you can easily change case in Word document. This is the option from where you can change the cases. So you can make it uppercase, you can make it lowercase, you can make it sentence case. Sentence case is running basically. Title case, where each word's first letter is uppercase and rest all letters are lowercase. Toggle case is basically whatever the existing case is there, it'll just get reversed. So for example, in this word, C is uppercase, it'll become lowercase. Rest all, HANGE, will become uppercase. And again here for case, C will become lowercase and ASE will become uppercase. So toggle case just reverses everything. I could show you that. That's how it does. So I don't want toggle case. I'll go back and I'll make it uppercase. Yeah, that works for me. Now Format Painter, very helpful, because whenever I want to copy the format from one place to another, I could use this. So before showing you how exactly Format Painter works, let's try to have some format onto maybe this. Yeah, so I'm gonna add some highlight here. I've added the highlight. I'm gonna change the font style. I've changed, yeah, just a moment. I'm gonna change the font style here. That's done. Let me maybe underline it also. And I want to make it italic also. I want to increase the size as well. And also I want to change the font color. So yeah, I'm done. So now uh, these particular words, font style bold, I've done various formatting changes and I want all of them to be replicated here. It'll take a lot of time if I go on replicating each thing. So instead, what I can easily do is I can select it because I want the font to be copied. I can select this. I can go to the Format Painter option. I can select it and just run it here. So how easily all formatting gets copied here. Format Painter is very useful. Then you have the bullets and numbering. I'm sure you would be aware how to add bullets and numbering. Let's say I want to add bullets and numbering to all of this. All I have to do is choose the bulleted list from here. I could choose the options that I want, how I want the bullets to look like. It could be numbering, it could be alphabetical order, it could be anything, right? So that's your bullets and numbering. How about line spacing option? So let's say I want a little more spacing in between these. What I can do is I can select them. I have the line spacing option here. I could just increase the line spacing and you see how it widens up, how the line spacing gets in there. I'm gonna go back and maybe decrease it a bit and maybe finish it off. So there's no line spacing now. How about multi-level lists? So for example, I have this set of information here that I want to format the paragraph, and these are the things that I'm going to be doing while formatting the paragraphs. So this can be my multi-level list where this can be my main heading sort of thing, and these can be my subheads. I want to create a multi-level list here. What do I do? These all paragraph align, indents, tabs, drop cap, all of this is falling under this category. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cursor to here, and I'm going to press the tab button. Again, I'm going to do the same for indents, for tabs, and for drop cap. So I have shifted them using the tab button. Once I've done that, I select all of this, and I can go to this multi-level list here. You can see under the paragraph group, I can select this and I can choose any multi-level list that I wish to choose. If I want, maybe if I want this to be like, I can change this bullet style, the numbering style. I can change all of that. That's not a issue at all. So it could be anything like that. So we're done with multi-level lists. About header and footer, when you scroll up the page, you just have to double click and you will find this enclosure opening up. It is for the header. So let's say I want to write this is my header. I can just write it. If I want some formatting here, I could do that, but I just want to keep it simple, and I can close this. You see, the header has become inactive on closing it. So at one time, either the header can remain active or the main workbook can remain active. Both cannot remain active simultaneously. And my header has got added here. You could see on the other pages also, I have my header. I have my header added. Right? How about if I want to add the footnote? So I go to the bottom of the page, I double click, and my footer opens up. I can again write whatever I wish to write. I could align it however I want to align it. So I'm just writing my name, and I want it to be center aligned or maybe aligned towards the right. I can choose that. Whatever I want, I can choose that. So I can say, not my name, I can say end of page, and I could probably bring it to the center and just close the footer. So it's reflected here. Also, you would be able to see it has been added to the other pages as well. Coming back, we are done with the header and footer. Let's go to page number. Now, how do we go to the page number? If I want to add page number, I'll just go to insert, and I have the option of adding the page numbers here. So first is it's asking me for the position. It has either the top or the bottom of the page. So I choose bottom, alignment right, left, center, wherever you want. I want it right only. And format you can choose from here. How do you want your page number to look like? And I'm comfortable with the settings here. I choose OK, and you can see I've got the page numbers also, right? So that's how you add your page number. Let's go to formatting the paragraph now. So for that purpose, I have some paragraphs here. All right. The paragraph on machine language, on assembly language, on high level languages, on assembler, and on compiler. I have these paragraphs here. First thing that we're going to do is we are going to see how do we align them. So let's say I have this paragraph here. As of now, it's aligned in justified manner, right? You can see it's justified. If I want it to be aligned right, it will become like this. If I want it to be aligned center, I can do that. If I want it to be aligned left, it can become that. So I can change the alignment of my paragraphs. Obviously, the best alignment is justified. It gives a neat look. The words end in the on the same what do you say, in the same sort of manner. It gives a very neat look. So we prefer to go with the justified alignment, where you can change the paragraph alignment from. These are the options. Next, what we need to see is indents and ruler, right? So now on this, I don't have any indent, but on the assembly language paragraph, I'm gonna add left indent. Before that, if you see on the ruler, you can see these little triangles here. So these little triangle and box shaped markers, they are actually quite handy. So they will control the indenting of individual paragraphs. And all we have to do is we just have to position our cursor in the paragraph we want to adjust, and we can easily move these around to change the indentation. So here, for your convenience sake, if you see here, I have a screenshot which tells us the upper triangle, the triangle which is upside down, is for the first line indent. The second triangle is for the hanging indent, and all of it together is the left indent. So I hope that makes it clear, first thing first. And here you have the right indent. So what will, let's start now. Let's start with the indenting. What will a left indent do? It'll change the indentation for all lines of paragraph. And as we slide it, let's slide it. As we slide it, you can see the other two indent markers are also moving, and my paragraph has been indented left now. So what does it mean? There is some space here on the left. If I want to right indent, what I have to do, I have to just put my cursor here, and this is my right indent. I can just move it, and I'm able to right indent my paragraph this way. So basically, I'm constraining my paragraph on the right side. I'm telling it that it cannot move beyond this. How about first line indent? Now the first line indent will make changes only for the first line of the paragraph. Let's do it. This is my first line indent. I'll just try to go and put my cursor here and move it. So I'm going to move the first triangle. This is how it is. So I'm just moving my first triangle. So this is indentation only for the first line of the paragraph. First line indent. Moving on to hanging indent. So this will change the indentation of all lines except the first line. So let's see how it goes. So it's changing the indentation of all except the first line. So this is an example of how indentation can change where the paragraph starts from. In this one, there's no indent. Here, this one's left indented. This one has got right indent, first line indent, and hanging indent. Also, uh, if you don't want to do indents with ruler like we have just done, because maybe it's not that precise and it is a bit cumbersome. So what you can do is, here in your paragraph group, you would have a launcher arrow here, probably on the extreme right of the paragraph group. So when you click on that, and then if you click on the open the paragraph dialog box, I'll tell you something like this would open up. So this dialog box would open up, all right, and we can control the indents from here also. And obviously the idea of doing it through this and not through the ruler is because with this we can be more precise and more exact. So let's try to do one indenting using this format also. Let me go to the paragraph for which I want to do indenting. Okay, I'll do it for this one. So I place my cursor here, I go to the dialog box, which you can go through the arrow, the launcher arrow, and then the paragraph. So what I want is I want it to be right indented. All right, I can just say okay, and that's how it is. So simple. I don't want it though, so I'm gonna get it back to the original form. The idea is to tell you that instead of using the ruler, you could use the commands also that are there. So you could do left indentation, you could do right indentation, you could do the first line indentation, the hanging one. All of that can be done using this dialog box also. Now we go to tabs. Okay, so first thing first, what are tabs? Tabs, basically tab, we're gonna add tab stop. Okay, and tab stop is basically where your cursor moves to when you hit the tab key. So now first, obviously for your easier recognition of where this tab key is located, this is a bit of screenshot that you could see here. So it is located at this corner here. This is the tab key, all right. So the top left corner, just under the ribbon, near your horizontal ruler, the top left. This is your tab key, all right. So we're going to play with it to add tab stops now. Generally, if you would see, and if obviously you have to click on this, so when you click on this, you would see that the default Word document has no tab stops as such, and it is uh, towards the left. So left tabs are Word's default tab stop, and what we're trying to say is that text is aligned against the left edge of the tab stop. So all the text is aligned towards the against the left edge. So from here we can choose the alignment, and once we choose the alignment, we can go and place our tab stops in the ruler. Now to insert the tab stop, all we have to do is we just select whichever kind of alignment we want. We point our mouse anywhere on the ruler, the horizontal ruler, and we just click. So I want a centrally aligned tab stop. So I select that and I click it maybe here, right? So a symbol has appeared, and if I want to get rid of the symbol, all I have to do is just take it, drag it out of the ruler, and it's gone. So no tab stops here. How tab stops actually help us, I'm going to show you in a new document. So I have a new document here. I'm going to add the tabs. Okay, so I can have a left tab. Okay, left tab I already have. Center tab maybe here. One more center tab maybe here. And another one maybe here. And I will have one right aligned tab stop here. Okay, so now what happens is I have my cursor here. When I press the tab key, I'm pressing the tab key. Just look where it moves to. It moves just under the tab stop. I'm gonna press it again and just see where it will move to. Exactly under the tab stop I've placed, exactly under the tab stop I've placed, exactly under the tab stop I've placed. Let's see how are they actually useful, right? So let's say I want to make some columns here. I've put the heading item for first column. I'll just press tab. I can write code, just tab quantity. Again, I have just pressing the tab button here, price, and again just pressing the tab button, amount. And because they're overlapping, I'll have to move this tab a bit. That's fine for me. Item could be A, tab, the code could be 101, quantity could be 10, price could be 500, and amount could be 5000. Now seen how easily I have done all of this because I had tab stops in place, and I can go on building this table with the help of tab stops. Otherwise, if you did not have these in place, how would it look like? Let's try it. I'm gonna remove some of these. But before that, just have a look. For the center ones, I have all of this aligned in the center. For the right one, it's towards the right. For the left one, it's towards the left. Let's take off the tabs. I'm gonna just go on to the tab and I'm gonna remove it from the ruler. You see how it has moved all the text. It becomes very difficult for us to manage text when we want it in a particular way. Now, do you see? It's all difficult to manage if I don't have tab stops in place. So that is what tab stop does for us. All right. Also, uh, just like your indenting, we had it in the launcher arrow here. You would have in the launcher arrow a tab option also. So I'll just show you how it would look like. The dialog box will look something like this, and from here you can set up the tab stop position and you can set up the alignment also. I think I'm gonna put some tabs here. Just see the data is getting managed itself. Now if I go on to the tab dialog box here, it is showing me the tab stop positions and it's showing me the alignment. I can change the alignment here as well. So maybe for the last one, I want to make it centrally aligned. I can change that. As simple as that. So that is what tab stops are. I hope you're clear. Then let's have a look at the drop cap. Now, drop cap is more of a decorative element. So it's used in documents at the start of a section or a chapter. It's basically a very large capital letter at the beginning of the paragraph to make it look more appealing, and it'll have depth of two or more lines of normal text. So we can easily apply drop caps. Let me see where I have to apply the drop cap. Mm, I think here only. So all I have to do is I just have to select the first letter in the paragraph to which I want to add a drop cap, and then you go to the insert tab and you would have the option to add the drop cap. Obviously for me it's not in the insert, it's somewhere else, it's under format. So I just say drop cap here, and it's giving me the options. There are two options under which it can be applied. One is the drop, the second is in margin. I'm gonna go for this option. I can choose the font I want. I can choose the lines to drop. I want it to drop. I want it to drop maybe 5 lines. And yeah, so let's have a look. This is how it looks like. Mostly used in magazine, you must have seen. And once it has been placed, you can change the font and everything from here also. So maybe if I want it a little bit bigger, I can just go and put my cursor here and increase the font size, right? So that is drop cap. We're done with drop cap. Now what we have to do is the tables and the mail merge. Under tables we'll be doing all these things, and then we go to mail merge. Now before moving ahead, let me quickly show you the pictures I have for you for your convenience purpose. So this is the dialog box which would appear in your Windows system as well, right? When you click on the arrow button on the paragraph group, and you can set the tabs however you want. And this is the dialog box for the drop cap, how it appears generally. I've added this just so that you're clear that it appears very much the same way in your Windows also. And now let's move to tables. So for tables, you would go to insert, and then you would click on the table button. And when you do that, it's gonna show you these options that you can insert a table, draw a table, or quick tables, or the other options also. And when you go on to insert table, this would come up. So let me do it here in my system also. I'm going to open a new document. Here I am on my new blank document, and I have this for the purpose of adding tables. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm on table and I'm going to add a table. You were also able to see this kind of grid in your Windows system. So this is basically allowing us to choose the number of rows and columns that we want for a particular table. So let's say I want 6 columns and 2 rows. I can easily choose that here, and my table gets inserted here itself. I can draw my table also. I can go on to the draw option. You also have the draw option in Windows system. So you can draw your table however you want. So let's say I want my table to be like this, and I want it to have 2 rows and maybe these columns, maybe something like this. Yeah, so I want my table to be like this. I can draw it however I want. I can choose the width, and I can make it however. Now you should know that we can align our tables as well. All we have to do is just click inside the table and right click. We would have this option, table properties. You press on this command, and however you want it to be aligned. So let's say I want it to be aligned right. I can select that and press OK. So you see it has moved towards the right edge of the document till where it is possible for it to move, because here it has to be kept blank. So we can have the alignment also done for our table. Let me also show you the text wrapping option. So while we were on table properties only, you could see this option, text wrapping. What is it used for? So basically, if you've got a small table, you can select the around option to have your document's main body of text wrap around the table, so that you're not left with a lot of white space on the page. So click on that positioning, and you can make some additional adjustments, and basically telling you how the table will flow around, how the text will flow around the table. And you can do that as well. So text wrapping can also be done. Now, if you want to add uh, rows or columns, then what do? You have the table layout, and all you have to do is that just place your cursor anywhere where you want the uh, the rows or the columns to be inserted. Go onto the table layout, and you can have these options that insert above, insert below. So basically, if you want to add the rows, you will have insert above and below. If you want to have columns added, you will have left and right. So if I want to add a row here, just see, I'm able to add a new row. And if I want to add a new row here, I can add here as well. And if you would see, it has copied the previous row. So by default, it has come like that. So you can add your uh, rows or columns like that. So maybe if I want to have a column here, I can press on this and I have a column here, right? What else? We can easily merge and split the cells to make our tables look more interested and more suited for the data that we are trying to share. So what happens is when you merge two or more cells, you're bringing them together, and when you split, basically you're dividing one cell into multiple forms. So you can already see we also have the options to merge and split cells. Let's do that. So let's say I want to merge these two cells. I select them. So you select the cells that you want to merge, and once you've selected them, you just choose merge cells and they are merged. It's that easy, right? And how about splitting them? Just at one command. So if I say that I want to, let's say, split these two cells, all right? I just go on to split cells. It'll open up this window for me, and I could input the number of rows and columns that I want. I want my cell to be splitted into, and I always want the cells that get merged, they should merge cells before split. Okay, so I'm gonna select this option, and let's say that I want it to be split into four columns. So I want four columns here, and two rows are fine for me. See, it got split. The cells, that's how easy it is. Let's say I want to split the table itself. So I want this table to be divided into two. All right. So wherever I want my table to start splitting, I'll just put my cursor there. I wanted to split it from maybe here. All right. And what do? I go to split table, and that's done. Again, easy. Now to merge the table, we don't have any commands as such, no buttons as such. So you have to do it by dragging and dropping only. So all you have to do is you hover your point over to the table that you would like to merge, all right? And then you drag and drop your table with the one that you want it to be merged, and it gets merged like that. So again, easy. I think that's all about tables. Quick look at the things that we did for the tables. So we insert the tables, these options come up, we can insert the table, we can draw the table, we can align the tables however we want through going into table properties, we can do text wrapping around, we can change the positioning, and you can, by going into table tools, the layout, choosing the layout, you can merge cells, split table, right? You could also maybe split the cells by the right click. While you're splitting the cells, you have to define the number of columns and rows you want your cells to be split into. You could also split the table. So that was about table. We go to mail merge now. Let me tell you what is mail merge first. So uh, basically, when you want to create multiple copies of the same document, for example, I want to send letters to all of you. So and the letter contains the same content. I can use mail merge for that purpose. So I can have the letter, the Word document letter, which would have the content, and I can have a recipient list at one end, and I can send the same letter to all the people. Obviously, all the people would have different addresses, different names, and everything. So incorporating all of that is very easy and fast when you do it through mail merge, right? So I'll just start with mail merge. First, what I'm going to do is I've taken from the internet, obviously, various screenshots and pictures of how we have to do mail merge, the steps of mail merge. And why I've done that is obviously because the word in Windows part of my laptop was not working, rather, is not working. So I have to do this, and this is what was delaying the whole thing. Anyways, so I'm gonna quickly show you the process. All right, we're not going to do it as of now, but once we I show you how it is done in Windows, I'll do it in my system also, to acquaint you with the things. All right, more or less it's the same only, but how it shows the options, it's a bit different for mail merge in Windows and Mac. Anyway, so first thing we do is we open the existing Word document or create a new one. So when we're talking about the Word document, it's saying the letter, the content that has to be delivered to all right? And you'll go on to the mailings tab. This is in accordance to the Windows system, so it should be helpful to you. So you go into the mailings tab and you click the start mail merge command, and you click step by step mail merge wizard. Now it has exactly 6 steps, and it'll guide you all throughout the way. All right, so the mail merge task pane appears and will guide you through the 6 main steps to complete a mail merge, and the following is the example. So first is your select document type. So what you're doing here is that you need to choose the type of document that you wish to create. So in this example, they're selecting letters, right? Then you click on next starting document to move to step 2. Then you select either use the current document or start from template or start from existing document, whatever is the option, but here they've selected use the current document, right? This is the most viable also. So you select use the current document, and then you click next select recipients to move to step 3, right? Now in step 3, what you have to do is that you need to you need a address list. See, it's asking select recipients. Why does it need an address list? So that Word can automatically place each address into the document. And now the list of the addresses of the recipient can be an existing list, or you can type in a new list, or even you can, if your Outlook, generally in offices they have their Outlook synced in the systems, in their system, so they can fetch their address list or recipient list from there also. So while if we choose use an existing list, it could be a list on Excel or Access, it could be in any format, right? So they've selected use an existing list, and then you click on to browse. When you click on to browse, you have to locate your file in the dialog box. Obviously you'll have to navigate to different folders, and you open your particular folder. And especially in case it's a Excel workbook, you it'll it'll prompt you to select the worksheet, the particular worksheet that contains the list, and obviously you'll click on OK. And just in case that you don't have an existing list, then you'll have to type a new list. So here is the second option. If you don't have an existing list and you are typing a new list, so you go on to select type a new list, and then you click on the button create, and then you can start typing your own address list. All right. So this will, when you click on create button, it will prompt you to this pre-populated sort of form. It already would have certain fields. Now, the fields might not be idle since you would not want all of them. So what you can do is that you can click on customize columns button to add, delete, or even rename the field names. So whichever field names you require, you can keep them. Whichever you don't want, you can delete. If you want to rename something, you can do that as well. Once you're complete with that, you can click OK and move on, and then it will ask you to populate the fields with the names and the addresses of each recipient. So once you've done that, you click on OK. A preview of, obviously you will save that data, so you save that data first, and this saved data will get merged into your final document. So the moment it is saved and it gets merged, a preview of your mail merge recipients will be presented, and you can use the checkboxes to include or exclude the recipients. And then, so this is basically all step 3. This we have done if you're typing a new list, or if you have an existing list already, so all you need to do is browse and open it. Anyways, we have seen both the options. You click on next, write your letter to move to step 4. When you go to step 4, basically you're ready to write your letter, and when it's printed, each copy of the letter will basically be the same except the recipient data. That will be different. So this is what you come to on step 4. What you have to do is you have to add placeholders, which you might not understand immediately while I'm saying it, but I'll show you how you have to do that nonetheless. So you have to add the placeholders for the recipient data, right? And if you're using the mail merge with an existing file, please make sure that the file is open. What you have to do is, when the file is open, you just have to place the cursor, the insertion point in the document where you wish to add the information. Okay, and for example, I have my letter open here, and I know where I have to add the address. I'll just go on to that point, put my cursor there, and I'll select address block, or maybe greeting line, or whatever I want from here. I can select that, and depending on the selection, a dialog box will appear, and I can select the desired options and go about clicking OK. Alright, so I will put on all the placeholders, and then I will say preview your letters. This is the mail merge task pane, and here I'll click on this option here to move on to step 5. When I select preview your letters, this is what appears. Alright, so maybe this is the letter. So with this preview, you can make sure that all the things are placed at appropriate places, and you can use these arrows to move to different recipients and see that the letters are in place. Alright, now step 5, you preview the letters and you make sure that the information for the recipient list appears correctly, and Like I told you, you can use these scroll arrows to view the documents of each of the recipient. After you're confirmed about that, you can click on next, complete the merge to move to step 6. And once you do that, you appear this box will appear, and you can either click on print or you can print on edit individual letters, however you want to. And if you want to uh, save all the letters, then you will have to go to print. It'll prompt to merging all the letters together, and then you can save a copy of them, or maybe send them for printing, or maybe even when you go to edit individual letters, you can even send them on email. So all of that is possible. Now I've shown you how it appears exactly in Windows with the help of all of these uh, screenshots or dialog boxes, pictures basically that I have for you here, right? I'm gonna show you with a little example how mail merge can be done here in Mac. The essence remains the same, and that's why I want you to see it, even if you don't have Mac, even if you're a Windows user. I want you to see it because the essence remains the same. How the dialog boxes appear and how the things happen might be a little different. The steps remain the same. There are 6 steps that you start with the document, you select the recipients, you write the letter, you preview the letter, complete the merge, and you print it. So, what I have here is an internship letter for various recipients. The letter has to be same, that is to be sent to all the recipients. The only difference I want is the address that will get added here before the subject line, and their name, which will be added here after dear. So thus the role of placeholders that we just discussed. So let me show you how it goes on. So this is a letter that I've framed for the internship offer. So let's start with the mail merge. This is how it looks like. It's the same steps, the same 6 steps, just a bit different in terms of how the dialog box appears and everything, right? So let's start it. So it's asking me, you want to create a new what form of document? It will be for letters only, right? It's asking me select recipient list. Now I already have a recipient list. I'll just show you also. This is my recipient list that I have already made in Excel. Alright, so I have the title, the last name, the first name, address, city, and country. And I'm quickly gonna attach it here. So I'm gonna say get list, click on it, and I'm gonna say open data source, and here it is, open. And see, like I told you, for any Excel sheet out of the workbook, it would ask you which sheet you want to be added. So it's asking me for the sheet, and this is the only sheet in the workbook there. So I'm gonna press OK. Now these are the column heads that are there, and what is it asking me to do? Drag placeholders into document. Now basically to make you understand how we do the placeholder things and what is exactly a placeholder. So just see what I'm gonna do. So here I would want the title, right? So if it's a Mr. or Miss, you see the word title appears in this set of chevrons. So this is my placeholder. Then I want the first name here, and then I want the last name here. So I've placed the placeholders here, the 3 placeholders. Also I want the address, so let me add that all as well. Address I want here, then the city, and then the country. I can add space in between them, or maybe just shift it to another line also if I wish to. That's what I want. Then it's saying filter options. That's not what I want to do. I'll just do preview results here, and you can see the first recipient was Mr. Akash Sehgal, who lived in Pritampura, Delhi, India, right? I can move the scroll cursor here, and then it's Mr. Rahul Gupta. You can see Vasant Vihar, Delhi, India. Miss Arushi Chaudhary with her address on the top, and Mr. Asim Khan with his address on the top. I had four recipients only, and I've previewed the results, and I'm sure that they are fine. So I move on to my last step, which is merge to print, and you can see I can get the option to save as PDF also, so I can save it from there, right? So you can just what did I just do? So this can be merged to print, this could be merged to a new document, and this could be sent directly also. If I say merge to new document, you can see this is a new document with all four letters in here, and I can save it. Easy. Do try mail merge at home on on whichever system you have, and if you have any queries you can get back to me, because mail merge is the most important thing that comes up in your practical exam. And I feel that's it for Word, MS Word.